You can do it. Yes, you can, but there is a trick. I'm going to tell you the trick. The trick is to start. You got to start. You got to start. Don't worry about where you're going. Just start. One foot in front of the other. You can do it. You will get where you want to be. Trust the process. Trust. Just do, and the rest is going to follow. Be patient with you. You got to have patience, and you got to find peace in that patience. I think a lot of us just become too impatient with something. We want quick results, like everything on the internet says. Quick, you'll have flat abs in 3 days, not flabby arms in 4 days. It isn't true. You got to stick with it. Just stick with it. I hope you stick with me. This is your Yoga for Life practice. This is your flexibility and mobility practice. I'm Jan. We are 316 Yoga. We practice every single day on Facebook and on YouTube, and we do it live. No cuts, nothing. It's real. Stick around maybe for the whole hour. I hope you can do the whole hour, or maybe just 10 minutes. That's fine too. But whatever you do, bottom of the screen says do what's right for your body, nobody else's. You're doing your yoga from home. You can do it your way. You can wear what you want. You can take breaks when you want. You don't have to worry about keeping up with the person next to you or whatever. You do this your way, but you just do. Ease off of the I should do it this way. I should do it that way. It should look like this. Quit shooting on yourself and just do. Just have fun and just, don't think I can't do it. Modify it to make it work for you. That's the ticket. All right. You got to take care of you. And as you take care of you, if something hurts, back out of it. Don't do it. Take it to a lesser percentage. Use the props or don't do a pose at all or modify. Do it your way. I'll show you lots of modifications. Just do. All right, here's the word to think about while you practice. It's peace. It's one of the fruit of the Spirit. You've got to find peace. Peace inside. I love the words. Peace is a state of tranquility and a state of serenity. No chaos. Let it go. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. You're in a place of peace. Your mat is a place of peace. On your mat today, you're going to use some props. The props that we usually use, and get them. They're not very expensive. 2 yoga blocks. Kind of no good substitute. Say you can use books or whatever. Who has a book that thick, right? All right, so have your 2 yoga blocks. They're not expensive. When you buy them, you can usually buy them with a strap. If you don't have a strap, use a belt to your robe, a dog leash, a jump rope, whatever. But buy those little supplies. It'll be less than $20, and you can do all of this yoga. If you don't have the props today, no big deal. You can still, the M word, modify. Have some water handy. That's always good. An eye shade is a lovely addition to your yoga toy chest. It can cover your eyes when you go into your final Shavasana pose. It's really nice. And if you don't have that, just have a little towel handy. That can do double duty too under your knees in our lunges. Okay, so those are the props you need. Maybe use a chair, maybe have your countertop nearby so you can do some balancing. That's what we're going to focus on today is balancing. And every day this month we're talking about living your yoga off of your mat. I've got a really great tip, but it's at the end. But you got to stick around for it because it's something you're doing that's negative that you can easily change. You just got to be aware of it, and it really makes a huge difference. All right, how's that for a tease? Okay, come on up to standing. And as you come up to standing, we're going to do our little warm-up. We do this just about every day, except on our restorative days. You're going to come up to standing. And as you come up to standing, lock in a stress number. What I mean by that is on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10, how are you feeling? Honestly, how are you feeling? Lock it in. Give it a number. 1, I feel lousy. 4, I feel okay, but I could feel better. I don't know. Give it a number. Scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10. Let's do our little warm-up. All right, you're on your feet. Barefoot, preferably, if that's all right with you. So you can kind of grip your feet into your mat. Place your hands on your hips, shoulders back and down. Take a pose of confidence. That's the best way to describe it. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. All right, so your feet are a little wider than hip width distance. Your hands are on your hips. Shoulders are back and down. Chest is lifted up to the sky. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. Take that kind of like Superman stance, or that Wonder Woman stance. Breathe. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And a big sighing breath out through your mouth. And the sigh is important. Expel all that stale air. Just audibly let it go. Breathe in. Breathe out. And feel your toes in the mat. Give them a grip. Kind of feel all 4 corners of your feet. Your feet are your foundation. You want to strengthen them, and that's how we're going to start. All right, so chest is lifted, shoulders are down, breathing in and out, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Start to come up on your toes. You can have a chair nearby. No big deal. You're still coming up on your toes. No problem holding on for balance. Breathe. In and out. Keep your heels behind your toes. Lift and lower. Oh, as you work on stretching out the back sides of your legs and finding the confidence in your balance, with or without a chair. It's no big deal. Nobody's judging you. So don't judge yourself. Be kind to you. Find peace in your practice today. Breathe in, breathe out. Focus forward. Yeah, look forward. Look forward to good things. Because it's going to happen. You're working on it every day. Calves feeling it? Uh-huh. All right, come down, rest your feet, and then lift your toes up. Give your toes an independent wiggle. Place your feet firmly on the ground. Palm tree pose. Maybe bring your feet in a little bit. Just get comfortable. Lift your arms. Lift them up to the sky. This is an extended mountain pose called Tadasana. Soften in your shoulders. Lengthen through your fingers. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, soften in the shoulders even more. Interlace your fingers, palms up to the sky, palm tree. So in palm tree, you're moving gently from side to side. Breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. All this month, we've been giving good tips on living your yoga off of your mat. One of the tips was, as you get out of bed, first thing in the morning, take a big good morning stretch before you even get out of bed. The other day, we talked about when you come up steps, take a plank on your steps or take your steps 2 at a time. Just incorporate little different things into your day. Don't take life for granted. Breathe. Don't take your movement for granted. Enjoy what you got. All right, come back up to the midline of your body. Release your arms on down. Place your hands behind your low back, fingers down. Squeeze your elbows toward the back of the room and take a little baby back bend. Look up. Soften in your shoulders. Chest is lifted to the sky. You don't have to lean back really far. Take what's comfortable. Exhale, fold forward. As you fold forward, let your arms hang heavy toward the earth. Maybe you're looking at your toes. Try looking at your ankles. If you're looking at your ankles, look at your knees. Looking at your knees, look up to your belly button. Little bend in your knees feels good. Hands don't have to reach the ground. You're just folding forward, allowing the spine to decompress, letting the crown of the head hang toward the earth. Shake your neck. Move it around, shake it, loosen it up. Slowly come back to stillness at the midline of your body. Roll your spine up gently, one vertebra stacking on top of the other till you come on up to standing. Your chin, take it off of your chest last. Now that you're standing, let's do big arm circles. That's what we usually do. So you can circle your arms. Circle your arms toward the back of the room. Today I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to do like Nordic walking. I'm going to use my arms, and I'm just going to, like Nordic poles, right? Like skiing. Really get into sending the arms back and forward, back and forward. Maybe you're doing the arm circles, and if you're doing the arm circles, work the knees in too. Bend in the knees and then straighten. As the arms come up, the knees are straight. As the arms come down, the knees go down. And if you're doing the Nordic arms, really keep them going. Get a little twist going too. Breathe, get into your shoulders. And if you're doing the Nordic arms, don't forget your knees. Let's take our hands to our hips if you've been doing the Nordic arms and bend your knees into a chair pose and little pulses here. So do some combination of that. Just shake it up a little bit. So what we've done is we've awakened the shoulders. Shoulders need that movement. You got to keep the shoulders moving. Same with the knees. Maybe little pulses in the knees. If you've done your arm circles, well. All right, let's finish up. Come on back up to standing. Arms back up to the sky. Lengthen up because you can. And then exhale, hands to prayer center. Close your eyes and just take a moment here for you. Find a little positive statement that you can say in your head over and over again. Maybe I am, fill in the blank. I am strong. I am here. I am present. I can do this. Some little saying, positive saying that you're going to repeat over and over again as you breathe through your practice. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Release your arms down by your sides. Shoulders are over your hips. Maybe send them back a little bit more. Let's do that big coat swing. Arms are long by your sides. Start to twist from side to side. Let your arms hang heavy. As you tap your hip, tap your backside, and feel the twist. Really feel the twist. We're going to do a couple different twists today. Good for your low back. I need that this morning. Low back work. We all need to work on our low backs. All right, twist from side to side. Let it go. Arms are heavy, looking over your shoulders. Try to look a little farther, maybe. And then finish. Last pose, another great pose for your back is ragdoll pose. All right, feet, remember how we started out with the feet a little wider than hip width distance? All right, let's hinge forward. Hands to opposite elbow creases. Fold forward, look back to your knees or up towards your belly button. Crown of the head hangs toward the earth. Little bend in your knees feels good. Start to sway gently from side to side in your ragdoll pose. Look back toward your knees, toward your belly button. Sway gently. Feel the goodness in your low back. Breathe. Let it all go. It's your practice. The movement in your body makes you feel good. Yoga is the union of body, mind, and soul. So when you move your body, you just feel good. No surprises there. So move your body and feel good in your head. All right, come back to the midline of your body. Big exhale. Tailbone up toward the sky. Release your fingers toward the mat. Then bend your knees and come on down to the mat. And it's time for child's pose. All right, this is just your little serene space, your little serene pose of coming into the moment. For your child's pose, what you want to do, keep your knees together, big toes touching, hips back toward your heels if you want. Lots of variations. You can use a block to bring the ground up to you and rest your forehead, your chest on the block. Arms can be down by your sides, fingers reaching toward the bottom of the mat. Soften in the shoulders. No, your shoulders aren't earrings. Send your shoulders away from your ears, fingers reaching toward the bottom of your mat, tailbone going to the back of your mat, and crown of your head lengthening to the top of the mat. So much to remember, right? That's your classic child's pose. An option, wide-legged child's pose. Knees spread wide, big toes touch, hips back to your heels. Reach your arms long to the top of the mat, forehead down to either your block or the mat, and settle in. So you did your warm-up, that little standing warm-up, just to get the body moving, to let it know, hey, stuff is coming, be prepared. Right here, right now, you're kind of getting into your head saying, hey, good stuff is coming, let the outside world go. This is my time on my mat, my space, and by taking this time, I'm going to be better for myself and everybody else too. So take a deep breath in, and a deep breath out. As you breathe out, think of the tailbone going to the back of the room and the crown of the head to the front. When you're ready, if you'd like, try to close your lips and breathe in and out of your nose. Focus on your breath. Big breath in, big breath out. Your child's pose feels great in the back, and take your time here. Stay here longer if you want. That's what's nice about practicing at home. You can stay in your pose as long as you like, as long as it feels good for you. There's no wrong way to do your practice. The only wrong way would be if something hurts. Don't do that. But if you stay in child's pose the whole time, good for you. Breathe in, breathe out. And let's come out of the child's pose when you're ready, if you're ready. All right, so we're going to come to a neutral tabletop position. We're going to get back into our foundation by tucking our toes towards our shins. We're going to bring our shoulders up over our hips, and we're going to have a seat on our heels. So we're going to do toes pose, and then we're going to go to an ankle pose. All right, so full range of motion in your foundation, your feet, your ankles. You want to move your ankles in all different ways. Keep them flexible, keep them mobile. So have a seat on your heels. As long as it doesn't hurt, stay here and distinguish between pain and discomfort. It's not super comfortable, but it's also not painful, for me at least. You assess what it's like for you. All right, so I'm sitting back on my heels, and if you want to take a little tension off, you can just press on up and not be on the heels. Blocks by your sides. Breathe here, shoulders over your hips, shoulders back and down. Let's come into an ankle pose. Take it in the opposite direction. So bring the tops of your feet onto your mat. Sit on your heels using your blocks. Press into the blocks and let your knees come up, but keep the knees glued together. And now you're resting on the tops of your feet. So there you go. You can use the blocks to push into the ground and, put the blocks at whatever height feels right for you. So press into the tops of the feet, letting the knees come up higher. Take it to what feels right for you. Breathe. Then go back to your toes pose. And just breathe. Don't worry about anything. You're finding peace here. No stress. Let the stress go. Nobody needs more stress. Your yoga's not supposed to give you stress. Your yoga's supposed to bring you peace. Breathe in, breathe out. Take it back to your ankle pose whenever you're ready. Maybe you want to stay a little bit longer in your toes pose. Let the knees come up. Breathe. And I could go between ankle pose and toes pose all day long. All right, let's finish up. Let's take the blocks away. Come to a neutral tabletop. Lift your feet up. Squeeze and scrunch your toes. Circle your ankles out, and then tap your feet on your mat. All right, let's come into a puppy pose. All right, so adjust your knees to however is comfortable. Maybe spread them a little wider, further back, whatever. Come down to your forearms. Forearms are parallel to the sides of your mat. Hands are pressed into your mat. Bring your chest down to the mat. You can use your block here to bring the ground up to you. I'm going to move my arms a little more to the top of the mat, and I'm going to rest my chest on the block. So your bottom, you really feel it in your low back. Your bottom is really lifted up to the sky. It's kind of like, how your dog, when they wake up after a nap, how they come into this puppy pose. Really try to melt your chest down, your chin down, your tailbone up. Adjust, wiggle. Move your knees a little bit more if you need to. Breathe. And let's come out of the puppy pose. All right, let's do cat-cow. Another animal, another two animals. All right, in your cat-cow, you're in a neutral tabletop. That means your shoulders are over your wrists, your knees are under your hips. Press the tops of your feet into your mat. Press your hands into your mat. Kind of grip your mat like a little gecko. Like, bend the knuckles in the mat. Take a deep breath in a neutral tabletop. Tailbone and crown of the head are nice and flat and even. Exhale the air out of your lungs. Tuck your chin to your chest. Tuck your tailbone under. Arch your back to the sky. That's your cat pose. Inhale, cow. Tailbone and crown of the head lift. Crown of the head lifts. Think of your chin going forward. Think of your tailbone going up. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. So you're moving your tailbone. You're moving your neck. Lots of good movement for the neck. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Try to look forward. Try to look up. You got to look forward to things. You got to look up. Look up. Keep your focus up. Your focus and your attitude up. Breathe. Cat, cow. Chin to the chest. Push the earth away. Inhale, cow. Crown of the head lifts. Gaze goes forward and up, and tailbone lifts too. There's your cat-cow pose. Great movements for the spine. All right, now for our cat-cow pose, let's extend our right leg long from a neutral tabletop. Press the ball of the right foot into the mat. Push into the mat. Lengthen through your right foot. Breathe. Let's do a cross-body movement here. Lift your right leg up, the one that's extended. Cross it over the midline of your body. Squeeze in your upper inner thighs. Place the ball of the right foot down on the left side of your body. Push into your mat and look over your left shoulder back to your right foot. Breathe. Take the right leg, sweep it around, bring it to about hip height. Plant the sole of the foot. Lift your right arm up to the sky. Look up to the right hand. Exhale, hand comes down, leg sweeps back and comes back to meet the left knee on your mat. Back to a neutral tabletop, back to your starting position. Left legs turn, it extends, pushing the ball of the foot into the mat. Doesn't that feel nice? I hope that feels nice. Breathe. Left leg crosses the midline of the body. Place the top of the left foot down on the right side. Press equally into both hands. Right shoulder, look over it. Look back to your foot, to your knee, to your bottom. Just a big stretch on the left side. Kind of feels like how we did that palm tree when we warmed up, doesn't it? All right, left leg, sweep it around nice and long. Plant the sole of the left foot at about hip height or wherever feels good. Lift your left arm up, up, up to the sky. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Finish. Hand comes down, knees meet at the midline of your body. Find your 2 blocks. Let's do a plank. All right, here's the deal. Here's why I said find your 2 blocks. You can do plank. We're going to do a 1-minute plank. We set a 1-minute timer. It's not to intimidate you. Sounds intimidating, doesn't it? But no, it's not intimidating. Find peace here. Here's a way you could do your plank if you're new to plank. You can come down to fully reclined. That sounds good, doesn't it? Legs are long, toes up towards your shins. Take your 2 blocks, press your palms into them. Pull your shoulders back into the sockets so your shoulders are really picking up a lot of the mat here. Your shoulders are down. Press your blocks up toward the sky and hold it here. Imagine that you are in a plank pose. I'm going to take a high plank today. You take the variation of plank that works for you. So just have patience with yourself. Don't stress out over doing plank. And if you don't want to time it, don't time it. The timer is there because a lot of you have been doing plank for a long time. Maybe you take it for 40 seconds. Maybe you now can take it to 55 or a minute. Take the variation you like. As I said, I'm going to take a high plank. I'm going to bring my shoulders over my wrists. I'm going to send my legs long. I'm going to press up into a high plank. Let's start the timer now. So you take the variation that's right for you. Feet are hip width distance apart. Hands are shoulder width distance apart. Come back to your gecko fingers. Push into the earth. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Guess what? You're 15 seconds in. Awesome. Hold here. Stay strong in your variation of your plank. Push the earth away. Don't give up. You can take breaks. Of course, take breaks. We're halfway there. We're 30 seconds in. Take the breaks that you want. If you're in a high plank, you could always drop to your knees and take a little breather. You could also send your hips high to a down dog and breathe. Just don't quit. We got about 15 seconds to go. Just don't quit. Take the breaks when you need them. Everybody needs to take breaks, right? But find patience in the stillness of this pose in the last 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Come on down. You did it. I'm going to grab a drink. Whatever variation of plank you did, most excellent. It's all about just doing, just showing up. You got to start. You need to take the breaks when you need to, but just keep on going, right? All right, let's go. We do some core stuff. Come on down. You can bring your strap if you want to use it for your boat pose. Lots of ways to do this. Today I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to use the block for our Supta Baddha Konasana sit-ups. You can put the block at the bottom of your mat if you want. If you don't want, don't do it. All right, soles of the feet are going to touch. The pinky edge side of the foot is going to rest on the block. Or, no block, you don't want to use the block, place your feet on the ground. Just shake it up. Hands to prayer center. Come on back, all the way back. Recline. Once you're down here, bring your fingers lightly to your temples. Maybe you stay right here. Drive your elbows more toward the floor. Nothing wrong with staying right here and breathing. Come back to the peace that you find in your breath. Deep, slow breaths in through the nose and maybe out through the nose. But if you feel you need to, exhale it out of your mouth. All right, Supta Baddha Konasana sit-ups. When you're ready, as you take your next exhale, peel your shoulders on up. You come up on the exhale because your belly's more hollow. If you come up on the inhale, your belly's full and you can't get up. Drive your elbows more toward the earth, knees open wide, and then come on down. Exhale up, inhale down. Maybe you do 1, maybe you do 2, maybe you stay reclined. It's all right. Don't give yourself a hard time. Don't be a critic of yourself. Be a cheerleader. Be a positive motivator to yourself. Lift and lower. Breathe in your little Supta Baddha Konasana sit-ups. And when you're ready, let's finish this. Come on down, let's do bicycle. I'm going to scoot the block aside. You can do it lots of different ways. Soles of the feet can be on the mat, knees are bent. You can stay right here and lift the shoulders up, just like we did a moment ago. Work opposite elbow toward opposite knee. Take a little twist. There you go. That's a fine way to do it. You could also keep your shoulders down. Lifting your legs up, knees over your hips. Draw your toes toward your shins. Kind of engage your legs a little bit more. And ride a recumbent bicycle. Drive one leg straight. Drive to the heel. And then bend the other leg. Knee and shoulders are peeled up. Opposite elbow toward opposite knee. Driving through the heel. Kick it up a notch by straightening the legs and scissor kicking them. That's a fine variation too. Whatever you're doing, it's awesome because you're doing. All right, let's finish here. Legs go long, arms go long. Stretch it out in a stick pose. So you look like a big number 1. Palms are touching, fingers reach to the top of the room, toes point to the bottom of the room. Stretch. Stretch a little bit more. Stretch. Your biceps are up near your ears. Stretch. Oh, get long. Be a big number 1. All right, time for boat pose. Lots of ways to do your boat. If you're new to boat, here's something you might want to do. Peel your shoulders on up. Bring your elbows underneath your shoulders. Forearms on your mat. You can stay right here. Maybe bend one knee. Maybe bend both knees. Maybe lift the knees up. Maybe straighten the legs. Totally fine. If you want to use the strap, just play with it. Think like you're in a recliner on a beach in Key West, right? And let it go. If you want, take your strap, place the strap underneath the soles of your feet and lean on back. Lean on back and lift your legs up and hold them here. Elbows are hugged in. Breathe. Lots of ways to do it. If you're a rebel, a renegade, and you don't want to use a strap or be on your forearms, hands behind your knees, lean on back in that beach chair. Shoulders are back, chest is lifted. Maybe one foot lifts or the other or both. Lean on back and hold. Hold. Strong core. Strong core. You've got it. Any one of these variations is great. Take a different one to just shake it up. Breathe. 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 Maybe release your hands, lift them up toward the sky and hold. Place your hands wherever feels right. Maybe prayer center. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Tomorrow we'll row the boat in this pose. Just something to look forward to. Bring the soles of your feet down onto your mat. Hug your knees in, heels towards your bottom. Wrap your forearms around your shins. If you can, if you want. No yoga police. All right, lengthen up through your spine. Bring your weight onto your toes, lean on back, and hold it here. Hold it here. Tomorrow we'll take it a little further in a cosmic egg, bringing our chin or forehead toward the knees. You can do that now if you want, or not. Plant the soles of your feet on your mat. Flip around, find your 2 blocks. Let's come into a lunge. All right, a little different lunge today, just for fun. Bring your 2 blocks to, I like them at the highest height. Come to standing on your knees. Send your right foot forward, knee over ankle. Using the blocks, press into them, and send your left leg long on your mat. Maybe you slip your towel under your extended left knee. Maybe that feels better. Top of the left foot on your mat. Breathe. Maybe bring the shoulders up a little more. Maybe bring them up over the hips. You decide what feels right for you today. You can stay right where you are. You can keep your hands on your blocks. Just get into your hips. Breathe. Think of how much our hips do for us. Think of that ball and socket there. Think of the lengthening and the stretching. You really feel it in the front of your left leg here. If you bring your arms on up, you can lift your arms up to the sky. You can hold right here. This is great. Focus forward. Stay strong. Press that right foot into the mat. Lengthen through your left foot. Lengthen here. Hold on. You've got it. Take a baby back bend if you like. It begins with your thoughts. It begins with your mind, and then it begins with your eyes. Lift your eyes up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Lift your eyes up to the sky. Maybe a little higher. Maybe fingers reach to the back of the room. Now come back, fingers high up like your extended mountain pose, gaze forward. Take your left arm, sweep it back. Right arm reaches forward, left arm reaches back, and twist and look over your left shoulder. Breathe, hold it here. Sweep the left arm forward so both arms are reaching forward. Reach both arms even forward more. Come back to the extended mountain arm. Sweep your right arm to the back of the room, left arm to the front. Twist, look over your right shoulder, hold. Sweep both arms up to the sky. Take a back bend. Inhale, or exhale, let it go. Bring your hands down to your blocks. Tuck your back, left toes under. Straighten your right leg and come on up to standing. Press through your blocks. Knees are straight as your legs are like in a little triangle shape. Hold it here. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, lengthen through your spine. Breathe out. Back heel is lifted. Hold on here. You've got it. Now, bring your right foot back to meet your left. Let the hands come down to your mat. Fold forward. When you're ready, step forward with the other foot. Your left foot, bring it forward. Bring it forward. Take that triangle-like pose. Breathe. Bend into your knees and let's come into the lunge again. All right, this time the left foot's forward. Left knee over left ankle. Right leg, send it long. Push into your blocks. Right leg is long. Breathe. Stay right here. Maybe send your right leg longer. Maybe place the towel under the right knee if that feels better. Lots of ways to make it feel better. Maybe come on up a little bit or a lot. Breathe through it. You've got strength in your legs, in your body. You're strong in your mind. Lift your arms on up. Look forward. Maybe look higher up. Maybe look up to the sky. Maybe little baby back bend. Breathe. Hands to prayer center might feel good. Hands back to the blocks might feel good also. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Lift the arms high up to the sky. One more time. Breathe. Sweep your left arm back, right arm forward. Breathe. Look over your left shoulder. You've got it. Sweep both arms forward. Both arms reach forward. Like when we do our seated forward fold. Think of you're holding a present and you're reaching forward, trying to give it to someone. Really reach forward. Right leg stays long. Reach, reach, reach. Arms come back up to the sky. Right arm sweeps back. Left arm goes forward. Look over your right shoulder. Breathe. Twist. You got it. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, twist deeper. Inhale, arms sweep on up. Exhale, arms come down to your blocks. Maybe you stay at prayer center. Tuck your back. Right toes under. Straighten your left leg. Press on up to a triangle-like shape in your legs. Maybe remove the blocks. Hands can come down to surround the left foot. Maybe look to your left knee. You got it. Breathe. Left leg, let it come back to meet the right leg. Send the left leg back. In your down dog, hands are shoulder width distance apart. Feet are hip width distance apart. Adjust them. Heels are slightly lifted. Gaze is down towards your ankles or your knees or towards your belly button. Press hard into your hands. Heels are slightly lifted. Pedal out in the heels. Shake your neck. Loosen up your neck. Turn it left, turn it right. Let it circle around. Let's do some balancing. I want to focus on balancing today. Bring your feet, walk them up to meet your hands, or your hands back to meet your feet. Roll your spine up, one vertebra at a time. Come on up to standing. All right, balancing. Balancing's so important. Let's really work on it today. Let's work on a pose. We'll start off a little easier and get a little harder. All right, so let's do you will look taller. Take the first letter of each word, root into your feet, legs zipped up, feet are firmly planted on your mat. Lift your arms up, bring them into the shape of a letter Y. Press the backs of your hands to the back of the room. Chest is lifted. Breathe. You look like the letter Y for the word you. Press the backs of your hands to the back wall. Really feel it. We do this pose often. Don't just go through the motions. Really feel what you feel. I feel it in my shoulders. I feel it in my upper back. I'm tight in the core. I'm lifting up. I'm breathing. You're breathing, right? There's the you. Now let's do will. So bend your elbows, send them down toward the earth. Palms are facing forward and then squeeze the backs of your hands to the back of the room. I feel the tightness along my spine. I feel it kind of upper to mid back. Breathe. Look forward, look up, press the backs of the hands to the back of the room. This pose is called You Will Look Taller for many reasons, because you do. It improves your posture and you do feel as though you will be standing taller in just a moment. Two arms, bring them to the shape of the letter L. Hug your elbows in. Forearms parallel with the earth. Chest is lifted. Ooh, I feel like my whole chest is really lifted and opened up like it does in fish pose. Breathe. You will look. One more letter T for the word taller. Let's T out our arms. One big letter T, pulse the backs of your hands to the back of the room. Breathe. You will look taller. Let's run through it again because now you know it. Big letter U, big letter U, big letter Y. For you, will squeeze. Look. Taller. Pulse your hands to the back of the room. If there's one thing you remember in this pose, the backs of the hands, think of really sending them to the back of the room. 3rd time's the charm. You will look taller with a pulse. And then finish. Let your arms float down by your sides. Close your eyes. Come back to your mantra. What did you say to yourself? I am strong. I can do this. I did it. Breathe in, breathe out. Good posture. So important. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. All right, there's your first standing pose. How does it feel? Let's go to something else. Let's go to tree pose, Vrksasana. Root into your feet, especially your left foot. Weight out of your right. Open up the right knee to the side of your room. Have your chair or counter nearby. Nobody's watching. Bring your sole of your foot up a little bit, or up a lot more even. Press the foot into the leg and the leg into the foot. Just don't put the sole of your foot on your knee. If you're doing it, it's not good. Your knee is not meant to bend sideways. Drive the outside of the right knee toward the back of the room. Root through your strong left leg. Hands to your waist, or grow your branches and sway your branches. Maybe hold on to the chair. Right? Maybe wave. Breathe. Hold on here. You've got it. That's your tree pose. It helps to look where the ceiling and the wall meet. Chest is lifted. Crown of the head is up toward the sky. Exhale, hands to prayer center. Guide the knee to the front of the room. That's an important part. Plant the right foot next to the left. Another side. Let's do it again. Root through the right leg. Open up the left. Staying here is perfectly fine. Maybe you want to stay right here with a chair, or bring it a little bit higher. You don't have to bring it a lot higher. What is your way? Your way is the right way. Bring the sole of the foot to work. Foot into the leg, and the leg back into the foot. That's a really good tip. Hips are equidistant to the front of the room, as are your shoulders. Breathe, focus. You got to stay in the present moment. Really good to stay in the present moment in everything. Focus, look forward. Arms go up. If you want to grow the branches, sway them from side to side. If you want to challenge your balance, breathe. Hands back to prayer center. What do we do next? We guide the knee to the front of the room. Plant the left foot next to the right. Let's do a more challenging balancing pose. Let's do a warrior 3 pose. Keep your hands on your hips if you want. Have a chair in front of you, and you can place your hands on the back of the chair. Take a big step forward with your right leg. Take it in layers. All right, hinge forward, the weight into the right leg. A little bit of give in the right knee. Don't lock it out. Left leg, let it lift a little bit or a lot. Remember, you can have your hands on your chair, whatever feels good. Maybe arms reach parallel to the top of your mat. Maybe the left leg lifts. Breathe. Come into like a capital letter T shape. Hold. Hands either back to prayer center, back to your hips, whatever you like. Left foot meets right. All right, got another pose. Let's do it again on the other side. Right leg steps back. Same effect as stepping the left leg forward. Hinge forward into that left knee. Remember, give the knee a little bit of bounce. Right leg lifts a little or a lot. You can stay right here. Lift it on up. Find your balance in that strong left foot. Maybe parallel arms reach to the front of the mat. Maybe the back leg lifts a little higher. Keep the right hip dialed down. Come into a capital letter T. Hold it here. Breathe. Finish. Either hands to prayer center, to your hips, whatever you like. Right leg meets left. That's challenging. Let's do it again. All right. Let's take another more challenging balancing pose. All right. Maybe you take your block. We're going to come into a one-legged mountain. You can use the block or not. Here's how you come into a one-legged mountain. Lift your arms up high to the sky. There's your mountain pose. Lift your one leg up, okay? Balance into the left foot. I'm going to lift the right leg. Draw the right toes toward the shin, right thigh parallel to the earth. You can stay right here, or here's the challenge. Put a block on your knee to keep, or on your thigh, to ensure that you're keeping the knee at hip height. Lift your arms on up to the sky. Focus. Man, do you have to focus here or what? If you drop the block, no big deal. Lengthen up through your fingers. Hold on here. Hold on. You're strong. You can do it. Talk about being in the present moment. Yes, you are. Breathe in, breathe out. You got it. You're strong. Let's finish. Remove the block. Right foot comes down. Other side. Don't use the block if you don't want to. Just kind of fun to challenge yourself. Lift your left leg up, up, up. Knee to about hip height. The block will let you know if you did it. All right. Balance the block. Think positive thoughts. You got it. Left toes drawn toward the shin. Maybe. Arms reach. Focus forward. Focus. Focus. Lengthen through your fingers. Hold on here. You got it. Root strongly into the right foot. Hold on. Don't quit. Don't give up. You're strong. You've got good balance. You practice it. You work at it. That's the only way to get good. Keep coming back. You got to keep trying. Let's finish. All right, left foot comes down. Left foot comes down. Remove the block. One more big balancing pose. This will strengthen your quads, those big muscles in the front of your thighs. All right, a drinking bird. To come to this pose, start with our hands on our hips. Bend your knees. Think chair pose. So you're bending your knees. Think like you want to come back to sit in a little teeny chair. Send the weight back into your heels. Hold on here. You can stay right here. Pop the arms and reach the arms forward. Hold it here. Sink a little lower if you like. Hold it here. Breathe. You can sweep your arms back. Palms face down, pinkies are reaching toward your spine, chest is lifted, open up through the chest. Oh, you feel that, don't you? Hold it here. Sink a little bit lower and hold it here. We're going to make our way down to the ground. Sink lower here. Breathe, focus forward, hold on. You're strong. Sink a little bit lower, hold. A little bit lower still and hold. A little bit lower still and hold. Release your hands to your mat. Come on down to your mat. How are you doing? All right, let's go. Let's keep on going. Don't give up. Don't quit. Legs go long onto your mat. Seated forward fold. You know this one. All right, toes up towards your shins. Reach your arms up to the sky. Lengthen up. Exhale, reach forward. Remember handing someone that gift like we did in our lunge? Same thing here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, belly button to your spine and reach forward as you hollow out your belly. Breathe. Finish. Come on up, shoulders over your hips. 2 blocks. Bring them between your legs. Spread your legs wide. Lengthen up. Put your blocks at whatever height you like. Maybe hinge forward. Forearms onto the blocks at whatever height feels good for you. Lengthen up through your spine. Breathe. Exhale, think of bringing your chest more toward the blocks. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold to whatever is right for you right now. Come on up, shoulders over your hips. Let's come into a Sphinx pose, brief Sphinx pose. We don't do this one very often. So come on down to your belly. Elbows are bent. Elbows are under your shoulders. Forearms parallel to the mat. Tops of your feet are on the mat. Hips wherever you like. Legs wherever you like. They don't have to be zipped up. Press into your forearms. Gaze down your nose. Sphinx pose, great name, because it looks like the Sphinx, right? Hold here. Little mild compression in your low back. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Nice job. All right, let's take it to a seal pose. To do that, bring your hands under your shoulders. Press into your hands, straightening your arms. Come on up with straight arms. Soften in your glutes, create space in your hips. Breathe. Finish. Come on up to standing on your knees. A little gentle camel pose. Knees underneath your hips. You can have a block between your ankles if you like. We'll do a full camel pose tomorrow. But for now, let's bring our hands to our low back. Squeeze your elbows towards your spine. Send your belly forward, look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Maybe look higher, look right overhead, hold here. Breathe in, breathe out. Remember when our warm-up, we did that gentle baby back bend? And when we did our lunge, we did a baby back bend, maybe. Here we are doing it again. All good movements for your body. All right, come on up, shoulders over your hips. Remove your block. All right, let's come on down. Let's do a bridge pose, but have your 2 blocks nearby. right at about hip height. Bring your eye shade or your little towel up near your shoulders. Slowly start to recline. And remember all the little things. Think about slowly reclining. Don't clunk. Be conscious of how you're moving. Slowly bring it on down. And you can hold it as you come down because you have a strong core. You're in control of your body. Bring it on down a little bit more. And then come all the way down. For your bridge pose, bend your knees. Shoulders away from your ears, no shoulder earrings. Press into your feet. Lift your hips up. Maybe lift them a little higher, what feels good. Maybe you reach them to a point where it would just feel right to wiggle your shoulders in. Think of your shoulder blades as creating a little shelf for your heart. Press into your feet. Arms down by your sides, hold here. Breathe. Now find your 2 blocks. Let's do pontoon pose. I like 2 blocks. Like my big bottom can rest on 2 blocks instead of 1. So bring the blocks together underneath your bottom, and then let your bottom rest on the blocks. Scoot them to wherever they're comfortable. That's where it's right, wherever they're comfortable. So your bottom's resting on the blocks, then send your legs long. So remember the feeling you had in the front of your hips when we did the lunge? Here you go. Now both hips, we're doing them at the same time in a little more gentle position in this pontoon pose. So breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. Life is good. Today's a good day. It's a good day to have a good day because you're going to make it such. And your yoga is giving you a head start. Breathe in, breathe out. That's your pontoon pose. Let's bend our knees. Press back to a bridge pose to press on up off of your blocks, or stay here longer if you want. Remove the blocks. Come on down, 1 vertebra at a time. Rest your bottom totally on your mat. Your tailbone, think of sending it deeper into the mat. Press the tailbone more into the mat. Send your left leg long on your mat. Send your left heel more to the bottom of your mat. So your left calf is plugged in. You feel length in this long left leg. Bend your right knee, using either your little towel, if you want to grab the towel to place it underneath your knee, kind of makes your arms a little bit longer, or interlace your fingers and hug underneath the right knee. Circle the ankle in one direction, then the other. Bring the foot back to stillness. Hug the knee in good and tight. Keep your elbows in. Breathe. You can stay right here. Supine twist if you want. Your right knee is hugged in. Use your left hand to guide the right knee across the midline of your body. Tee out your right arm, keeping your right shoulder down. Gaze to the right and think about the twist you're taking here. Breathe in, find length. Breathe out, find the twist. In and out with the breath. In with the good, out with the old, right? Finish up, right hip comes down, right knee, hug it in and circle the ankle again and again and again, this way and that way. Come to stillness in the knee and the ankle and hug the knee in. Really good and tight. How tight can you take it? Finish, right leg goes long. Repeat on the other side. So drive the right heel to the bottom of the mat. Feel the length in the right leg and the stretching out of the right hip. Left knee bends, using the towel if you want, or your hands, interlace fingers underneath the left knee. Hug it in, squeeze it in, pull it in. Breathe. And when you're ready, if you'd like, the right hand guides the left knee across the midline of the body. You roll onto your right hip. The left knee comes toward the right side, doesn't have to touch the ground. You take it to what feels right. Left arm tees out and you gaze to the left. Breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. Feel the goodness of this twist. That's what matters. It doesn't matter how it looks. It matters how it feels. Should be a nice big twist. Let your left shoulder relate closer to the earth. Let your gaze go more to the left of the room. Let your left fingers reach to the left side of your room. And then finish. Bring your left bottom down. Gaze back up to the sky. Interlace your fingers underneath the knee or the towel. Circle your ankles out, out, out. Let it be. Happy baby pose. Left knee, hug it in toward your left armpit. Drag the right heel up. Bring your right knee toward your right armpit. And rock a little bit from side to side. Let it feel awesome in your low back. Just rock from side to side. Take it pretty far when you rock. Nobody's here. You can do whatever you want. Doesn't matter. You're not going to roll over into somebody else. Let it feel good on your low back. Maybe you like to stay at the midline of your body and trace little circles on the ceiling with your knees. Maybe that feels awesome today. Remember, you're holding on strong to your knees. All right, happy baby. Another expression of it. Come to stillness. Hug the left knee toward the left armpit, right knee toward the right armpit. Good, strong arms. You got it. Maybe move your hands so they're inside your calves. Maybe you reach for your ankles and then tug, really pull the knees toward the armpits. Maybe take your hands and find your heels. Hold on to the heels, draw the toes towards the shin. You feel like a frog, however a frog feels. And then straighten one leg and bend the other, and then straighten the other leg and bend the other. First time's the hardest. It gets a little easier as you go. Sending the heel up toward the sky. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Send both heels up toward the sky. Your hands are on them, or maybe they're on your inner ankles. Open up your legs into a big letter V. We did a wide-legged seated forward fold. Remember that? When we were seated and we had the blocks between our legs? Very similar here. Spread your legs nice and wide. This time, let gravity work with your legs. Pinky edge side of your foot, let it work toward the earth. Use your hands, too. Place them inside your calves and open up your legs a little bit more. And then finish. Knees come back to the midline of your body. Bend your knees. Feet come down to your mat. Let's do another bridge pose with a little different variation. Arms down by your sides, shoulders away from your ears. Soles of your feet on your mat. Press into your feet. Lift your hips up good and high. Take your fingers, interlace your fingers behind your low back. Tendency is to want to have the thumbs up near your back. Bring your pinky fingers down to the mat. Wiggle your shoulders a little bit closer to your spine. Push hard into your feet. Lift your hips up nice and high. Pinky fingers are pressed into the mat. Lift in your bridge. Remove your hands down by your sides. Slowly roll your spine down. Really think about one vertebra at a time. Tailbone down, absolutely last thing. Release. All right, nice job. Let's come into our final Shavasana pose. You do it your way. We do it lots of different ways. So come back and you'll learn different ways every day. So you do it your way. All right, it's good to learn something new every day, right? I'm going to take a crocodile pose for my final Shavasana. I'm going to bring a block to the bottom of my mat, maybe 2 blocks to the bottom of the mat. I'm going to come onto my belly. You know, it's good to learn something new every day, and it's good to do something different every day. It's a good day when you've learned something new. So come into your variation of final Shavasana. If you're on your back, cover your eyes with your eye shade. I'm going to place my feet onto the block or blocks. I'm going to bring my elbows to the sides of my mat. I'm going to stack my hands, and I'm going to rest my head onto my stacked hands. And a deep breath out, shoulders are soft. Whichever variation of final Shavasana that you have chosen today, rest. Find peace in the pose. I've got my ankles slightly lifted, so it's a little mild compression on my low back. I'm going to let my head rest heavily on my hands. Maybe you've got your eye shade covering your eyes if you're on your back. Arms down by your sides, fingers reaching toward the bottom of your mat with a little bit of spread in the arms and spread in the legs. Come back to your breath. Remove the tongue from the roof of the mouth. Soften in the shoulders. And let your body be heavy. Deep breaths in and deep breaths out for a minute of peace here. No thoughts. Just breath. deep breaths. Really fill your belly up. If you're on your belly in the crocodile pose, really kind of like push the earth away with your belly. If you're on your back in a classic final Shavasana pose, fill your belly up to make it feel like a balloon. And as you exhale, bring your navel towards your spine as you empty out all that stale air. If you can stay longer in your final Shavasana pose, go for it. If it's time for you to end your practice, start to come out of your pose gently and slowly. I'm going to bend my elbows. I'm going to kick the blocks aside. I'm going to press on up through my hands and make my way to a comfortable seated position. Lift my arms up to the sky and just stretch it out. If you're on your back, maybe you're stretching it out in like a good morning stretch like we did earlier and like you do every morning. I'm going to float my arms down by my sides. Then I'm going to bring them to a prayer center position. I'm going to lengthen up through the crown of my head. And I'm going to soften up in my shoulders. You come out of your final Shavasana any way that feels peaceful to you. Take a deep breath in, hands at prayer center, lengthening up. And a deep breath out, softening with what you got. Gently blink your eyes open. You did it. You did it. You can do lots of things. You can succeed at lots of things. The trick, you just got to start. You got to start, and you got to have patience with yourself. One of the fruit of the Spirit. You got to have patience. All right. Do you think I forgot? I almost forgot. If I hadn't written it down, I would have forgotten. But it's living your yoga off of your mat. Okay, so what are we going to do? All right, so here's my tip for today. Excuse me, Piper. All right, so here's the deal. You can live your yoga off of your mat every single day and do little things that keep you strong. I think I'm going to pretty much guarantee this is something you do that you can change. And when you do this, you're going to be better. All right, sitting in a chair. How do you get up from your chair? Do you use your hands? A lot of us do. Do you put your hands on the arms of the chair and push yourself up? A lot of us do. We do it subconsciously. Do we use the counter? Do we use the table? No hands. Look, Ma, no hands. Press on up in your strong legs. Practice it. I want that to get in your head, kind of like what do you call it, an earworm when you're listening to music. Don't use your hands when you get up. Use your strong legs. Your strong legs. Your legs are so strong. We did chair pose. Your legs are strong. Don't use your hands. And add to that, don't grunt. How many of us grunt when we get up? Don't make sounds when you get up. You don't have to do that. Don't make sounds. Close your mouth, breathe in and out of your nose, and get up. You got it. All right, that's it. That's our yoga for today. Stress number, what was it? What is it? All right, from us to you, much love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Focus on that peace and patience part. Love you guys. See you on your mats tomorrow. Subscribe to our channel. Like us, love us, whatever. And join our group.